We are continuing our journey through the book of Hebrews, and today we are moving into the home stretch. So there are 13 chapters in this book, and we begin now with chapter 10. Now, not time to relax. There's a shift that's going to take place, but it's all very much around the same theme. The author, again and again, from every angle, hammers away at the same points. He's writing about Jesus and who he is, that Jesus is better than a priest. He doesn't enter just an earthly tabernacle, he enters a heavenly tabernacle, and he represents a sacrifice that puts an end to all sacrifices, and he represents a new covenant, a covenant that is better than any other. And so, again, I feel like little Johnny one note here. I just keep saying the same thing, but that's because that's what the letter of the Hebrews is. It is over and over and over, it is coming at this idea that Jesus is who he is and he's better than. And I think it's also because it's driving home to religious people, and all people are religious. There's a growing recognition, I think, even among secular people, that there is religious fervor to a lot of the worldviews that are being adopted by people who are secular. And so we're all looking for meaning. We're all trying to figure that out. We're all grasping onto things and elevating them, whether it's God and Jesus or somebody else. So anyway, we're gonna see that the writer of Hebrews is trying with people who are Jewish and are embracing, Judaism and are going to the temple and all of this. He's trying to say to them, look, salvation comes through Jesus and Jesus alone. So this again, I've made this point over and over and over. There are people today who are guilty of what was happening in the first century, the Judaizers, who said that in order for a Christian to become, in order for a Gentile to become a Christian, they first have to become a Jew. And nobody says that today, but what they say is in order to be a Christian, you have to embrace Jesus and then things get added. And it's almost always good things, right? You need to be generous with the poor, you need to go to church, you need to pray, you need to read the Bible. And it's really hard to sort of go at any one of these things and say that they're bad. What's bad about them is they're getting added to the wrong side of the equal sign. It's not faith plus works equals salvation. It's faith equals salvation plus works. And so Hebrews chapter 10, verse 1 reads, "The law is only a shadow of the good things that are coming, a reflection. For this reason, it's referring here to the law, and sort of in particular to the civil law. The law that we find in the book of Exodus breaks out into the civil, the ceremonial, and the moral. And really, I said it was civil. It's more the ceremonial law. So civil law was just the rules about how they're going to live together because they're living in a theocracy. They have no king back at the time that the law is given in Exodus. The moral law is what we get at the Ten Commandments. The moral law is what we get that is still in effect today. The ceremonial law was all about the sacrifices. It was about the Levitical code. It was about the priesthood. It was about how the Levites were to carry out their Levitical priesthood duties. And so he's saying that this is a foreshadowing of things to come because all the sacrifices that were taking place were sacrifices that were pointing ahead to the sacrifice that would be made by Jesus. They foreshadowed Jesus. They were pointing out and reinforcing the themes that sin is a capital offense, but that an innocent third party could die so the guilty people could go free. But in the book of Hebrews, what we're going to hear is that, without the shedding of blood, there can be no forgiveness. But it's not the shedding of blood of bulls and goats that are going to lead to forgiveness. It's a placeholder pointing ahead to the sacrifice, the sacrificial death of Jesus in our place on the cross. So Jesus, we're going to be told in Hebrews, sets aside that first covenant. So I'm reading on, it's impossible with the blood of bulls and goats to take away the sins. Therefore, okay, always a big word, got to ask, what's the therefore? Therefore, when Christ came into the world, he said, sacrifice and offerings you did not desire, but a body you prepared for me. With burnt offerings and sin offerings you were not pleased. He's talking to God the Father. Then I said, here I am. It is written about me in the scroll. I have come to do your will, O God. And he is laying his life down as the ultimate sacrifice. He sets aside the earlier covenant, the Mosaic covenant. He is replacing it with the new covenant comes in his life. So the writer of Hebrews has been hammering home this idea in different ways. We're going to see some new wrinkles coming, but it is about Jesus. It is about the work that Jesus has done. It's better than the work. He's better than anyone else, and the work that he did is better than anyone else. Christianity is not this I do, it's this he did. Our focus needs to be on Jesus. Have a good day.